Okay, hello, welcome to some sort of coffee lodge that I can't remember the name of, Moravo Coffee Lodge or something or other. We've now finished, and me and Rupert are in the pool. Hello. Fully prove it. So, I'm now going to try and do a better job than I did in all my other daily diaries of what we actually did this week. So, over here I have a map, which I'm going to point you at. Put the sunglasses off so I can see if it's actually working. Okay, so we basically started, where's the knife here, at the Lemosho route, and on the first night camped here at the forest camp, which was right in the rainforest, and it was literally us in the camp. It was a pretty easy day the first day, a couple of hours walking, just for us to find our bearings and get puffed out going uphill and worry that we weren't going to make it, but it was all good. Then the next day we had a few hours walk to Shirawan camp, which was here. I don't remember too much about Shirawan, nor about the walk that went there, but I think we might have seen some monkeys in the way. But the walk was only a few hours, and again it was pretty easy. Then the next day we had to walk all the way along here, past Shira 2, along here, up here to this massive lava tower, which was very, very high up, and then followed it down all the way to Barranco camp. So it was a massive walk compared to what we'd done before. It took about probably 8 hours, or something like that. It felt like it, if it wasn't really 8 hours. And this was the highest point we got to for days until we really did the actual ascent route itself. I think it was at Barranco camp that I blew my nose and most of my brain's blood came out of it as well. But our guides assured us as long as you don't bleed out your eyes, you're fine. So that was okay. And then we had a relatively shorter walk the next day to Karanga camp. But first of all we had to get over what was called the Barranco Wall, or Breakfast Wall, which was a 300-metre scramble. There was a couple of bits where it was a bit difficult to get through, and there was a tight gap between two rocks that our guide Joseph said fat Americans couldn't get through, but I was very happy to prove that I could get through, so fat British people can. And then we arrived at Karanga camp relatively early. I think it was at Karanga camp that we immediately fell asleep in the afternoon because we were so knackered from the previous walks, but we chilled out a bit, and then the next morning left to go to Barufu camp, which is at 4,600, and this was what we call base camp before we were going to ascend. So while we were there we again relaxed a bit. We had to sleep during the day so that we could be ready to set off at midnight, and at about 10 o'clock the world's biggest electrical storm came off, where there's lots of thunder and lightning, and what I thought was rain for 2 hours came down, but it turned out to be snow. It continued snowing for another hour, so this path up here, which looks very wiggly and well defined, we were making it up as we went along really, but we still managed to get up at least to here, Stella Point. At about here and here I thought I was going to die from being exhausted so much, but I was pushed on to Stella Point, where I really thought I was going to die, and I gave up. Then Rupert and Sarah continued to the actual peak itself, Uhuru, and then individually we all did what's called scree skiing all the way back down here to Barufu camp, where we ended up, I think, yesterday. Yes, I think it was. And then yesterday in the afternoon we walked down to a camp here that isn't marked, called Millennium Camp. And then this morning we finished off by walking all the way down here, and then all the way down here, if you can see that. Probably not, so I'll show that again. All the way down here to Mweka, where we picked up our car which drove us back here to our coffee lodge. So we've just had our first beer, and I'm going to get out the pool in a minute and get our second beer. So thank you very much.